All right, so Claude is gone. I threw Lynn in here just to see if I don't know. I no, like spur of the moment easiest option to pick from, so I just decided to choose her. Also, some amount of thought went into it because mobility. Well, not mobility. Well, yes, to some extent. Being able to move across the map is really what I want from that slot. And since I'm not running Tana, and Claude can't reach the majority of the time to help initiate, since these two middle spaces right here, typically where Dimitri and Shez are, those are typically going to be your initiation spots. Typically, and even if I'm going from like the mountain map, you're going to only have those two initiation spots from the side. So you're probably going to need someone that can help you to get across the map. So that's why one of the reasons that Lynn is here, because of her range, just the fact that she can hit the back row just by existing is beneficial for this team in specific. It could also have been Celica, but Celica doesn't kill things. So and also getting Celica back to safety is typically a problem. So yeah, that's the only downside for Emblem Celica. But Lynn here doesn't have that problem, so I figured why not just go with Lynn, just to see how it works on this team. I was thinking of also going with dual Leon as well, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to work because he has to move to initiate, and then it would be dependent on taking out the dual unit in terms of whether or not he could get the shutdown or the lockdown on whatever's left. So that's kind of a gamble in and of itself. So Lynn here is the least problematic unit that I could, in terms of team building, that I could think of. So here she is, and she kind of works with Ather as well. The more turns that go on, so the two of them together, I figured why not? It just works. And then yeah, so far I gotta say Dimitri has been the standout of the two. Side note, I did end up having to pull for Valentine's Edelgard. I didn't mention that. Desert Ike next week is going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. I'm telling you that, like right off the bat. If you have not prepared yourself, or if you have nothing prepared to deal with Desert Ike, probably he won't be that common, since I don't really know how many people actually pull for him. I'm not seeing him a ton on my friends list. I do see him here and there, but it's kind of sporadic, so you might not have to worry about it. But I'm telling you, that dude is pretty much unkillable. He's if you pair him with quad mythics, 4 mythics, he is going to tank everything, Sigurd included. Pretty much all of the meta units in the game he tanks. There just isn't enough. There aren't enough green. Well, maybe you could get like one of the few units that was actually getting some amount of success in that matchup was man, what's his name? Green Cav that just got a refine. Xander? No, was it Xander? I think it was Xander actually. Yeah. I think Legendary Xander was getting some traction against Desert Ike in terms of just being able to do damage that stuck. The dude was like, Desert Ike, bonus stats, he's gonna be hitting 100 speed in combat, over 100 speed. And he has 20% flat damage reduction from Lagu's Loyalty, then another 20% flat damage reduction in his weapon, and that stacks, so that's 40% flat damage reduction in total, at least, if my math is correct. And then that's 40% of his speed, and that's getting up to like 100, minimum 70, because I have one copy and I could get him visible stats 72 speed with bonus stats 72 speed. So yeah, he's reducing the damage by at least 40%. He's reducing at least 40 damage consistently. He's going to be in his upcoming season. So take that into consideration when you're planning your defenses, because he's going to be a pain to deal with, and that's really what I've been planning against so far. And that was the reason that I had to summon for Edelgard. Valentine's Edelgard, because nothing else in my barracks was doing anything. I could get him down to 1, but then no one was doing 1 damage. So yeah, that's a problem. He beats Sigurd, just straight up beats Sigurd, Emblem Sigurd, because Sigurd will hit the AoE and then do 0 damage in combat, which is beginning to become a trend for Emblem Sigurd. His fall off is here, which is to be expected. He's had a very, very long run, so I'm not surprised that he's starting to decline. What are we in? February? Yeah, he's been around for a while and he's been doing damage. I don't mind him taking a backseat for a little bit. Don't know what I'll do with him after this, but he's still very good. But I don't think he'll be featuring on defense, at least not for the next 2 to 3 weeks, since Ike is going to be bonus. Yeah, the main thing is you just can't get a follow-up into Desert Ike, and that's one of the things that you really need to be able to. You need to do damage, and getting a follow-up is what you need to do damage. I put Lynn over here because I wanted to take out Felix, but she's missing the kill currently, so I'm going to inflict the terrain. Pay close attention to what I'm doing. The sequences do matter. You know, a lot of it matters. I have Thor here giving the drive support within 3 spaces, so she's getting, Lynn is getting extra stats that way. And now the haste terrain is going to give me additional stats to help me take out Felix here, and we're looking at actual damage this time. So yeah, it all comes together and it all plays a part in being able to do this one thing that Claude was just not able to do. So off the bat, Lynn better than Claude is what I want to say.
Of course.
I think we back out at this point since we've done enough damage here, and if I attack again, Dimitri doesn't have enough cancel to run away safely. Having the 4 movement built into this Dimitri is just the tits. It's really, really good. I think who would have benefited from this? If this were, she came out, she's from Engage, Mirren. If this were Mirren, if this is what Mirren did with her kit and everything, she would have been actually like one of the best units. But again, it was just, she's another example of who could have taken Valentine Dimitri's place. It didn't have to be Dimitri. You had options that you could have used. But again, I don't know, whatever, man. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Ike. Not being able to get a follow-up attack against this Desert Ike is a huge pain, especially when he's hitting 100 speed in combat. You're really not getting a lot of units that are going to be anywhere close to being able to double, so you're going to need to, you know, stack speed somehow with speed mythics, with Seteth, with whatever you got, if you want to be able to double this Ike. The only unit that I found that was actually able to get close to doubling him was Bridget, which makes sense. Since she is the most recent ranged. Well, I don't even want to say that because I used Claude, and Claude, well, my Claude isn't like plus speed or anything, so I guess maybe that's a part of it. But he was nowhere close to being able to double Ike, and I actually blessed Claude for Dark Season, and he could not do it. The only one who could do it was Bridget, and she was able to actually kill him.
What now? Before
I added the extra 4 mythics. So without the extra mythic HP, that plus 20, Bridget can actually take him out with Astra. But since he's getting all of that additional stats and support from the mythics, she fails to KO just because flat, at least, she's hitting for 99 times 2 into Ike, Desert Ike, and then Astra kicks in, so that's, you know, 1.5 additional damage or something like that. I don't know, math. At least 100. We're doing at least 100 damage. Let's get that clear. And it gets damage reduced all the way down to about 38 or 40 into Desert Ike. So that's just, you know, insane. That's what, at least 70 damage, 70 flat DR from the combat against Desert Ike. So it is going to be a pain to deal with him. He is going to be, if you see him, that's probably an automatic loss unless you have something to combat. Maybe if Bridget were able to quad, which is actually, yeah, that's actually true. I was able to get the KO into Desert Ike when Bridget quad. So if you have some type of support to get Bridget to quad, she can definitely actually do it. Maybe Claude can do it. I don't know. I'll do some testing to see how it pans out, but it just wasn't looking great for Claude. He's just a dud. I don't know. Maybe merges. I don't know. Whatever. Claude. Shez doesn't, at least mine, does not win the speed check to get the effective damage. And as a result of that, she can't double. Well, she can't double to begin with since he's so fast, and then he has that status effect that prevents him from getting doubled. So raises the threshold. So that's, you know, tough for her because a lot of her damage output is based off speed. So it's just not a good win for her. And then if you can like find some other ways to like stat swing, you're really gonna need that in terms of just being able to take out Ike, at least for the next 3 weeks. And then after his bonus season, he'll be a lot easier to KO without the bonus stats, but it's going to be really annoying. It's going to be like having to deal with Winter Alear again, which was my solution to that was to just use Winter Alear. And I guess that's probably a solution as well. If you're having trouble taking out Desert Ike, you can just use your own Desert Ike. I guess that's a good countermeasure. But yeah, he's really, really tough to kill. You need the double, and if you're not getting the double, you're just not going to be getting anywhere. It's so interesting because he is like the only one that really uses Lagu's loyalty to its full potential. Everyone else kind of like either does not use it well or kind of does okay with it. And I'm looking at like Lucia to be specific. She does okay with it. And also, I guess, Summer Fjorn. But yeah, Desert Ike really, really uses that skill really well. Everyone else is kind of a wash. Which is kind of like cheat because basically there's no, they should have just made it a perf skill instead, I don't know, and not given him great ether or whatever ether he has, but then the ether has the, I think it's the ether that has the no counter disrupt, so I don't know. But yeah, that's like a perf skill for him because it doesn't really work well with anyone else. But yeah, man, it was a pain trying to figure it out. I really didn't want to summon for Valentine's Edelgard since I did not like that she was the one that they chose. It could have been anyone else that did what she did. Well, not really anyone else. Someone else with just not as many actions, I guess would be the right way to put it. They should have waited a bit longer before releasing her another ult for her. Just so that when they inevitably did release an ult for her, it would have been stronger. But yeah, she is pretty much the solution currently that I found for Desert Ike, and it is not easy for her even. So yeah, let's see what I can cook up for next season. Hopefully I don't run into that too much. Sigurd has been benched because he's just not doing anything. Especially with Rhea is now a thing, so yeah, Sigurd just it's not gonna cut it anymore. Yeah, let's see what I can cook up on defense. Looks like I won't be able to fit Embla in, unfortunately, which I kind of wanted to fit her in. Like I gave her a whole new kit and still can't really use her, so that kind of sucks. Primarily because she doesn't partner well with Larather, which is bizarre. The thing is, if you have both of them in the same lane, Larather, and if they have overlapping spaces, or even if Larather is hitting his assigned decoy in a spot that Embla's in, it really just ruins everything, especially if you're matching up against someone like Desert Ike. It basically removes the assigned decoy since, well, it's still there, but it makes it not matter because you can't save because of undefended, so they don't really pair together. They really should have made Larather an anima defense mythic, but whatever.